Hello, greetings everyone. Welcome to Hive FBLive Blossoming Confidence for Business Women. Good to have you here. Well, today's Friday. I don't know if you're aware of that. Well, it is here in Australia anyway. And Friday, typically for business people, doesn't end on Friday, right? The week doesn't end on Friday. We work weekends too. But, I'm already getting that Friday feeling because I'm not working this weekend. Not working anyway, training away, but I'm working in the business, always do it every day. But I am getting that Friday feeling, and I'm really looking forward to my guest today. We should have had this thing going on maybe a couple of weeks ago, but we had to reschedule because Melanie had some bug going on, so we had to reschedule because she didn't want to have a coughing fit on the show. So my guest today, special guest, is Melanie Eager, and she is incredibly eager, and I'm sure she's not heard that before, to come on the show and to talk about what she does. She is a nutritional coach, so she specializes particularly in genetic health coaching, and you'll know what all that is about when she comes in. She's going to tell you about it, and it's kind of a specialism which I don't know a lot about, to be honest. I know a lot of health coaches, nutrition coaches, but I don't know a lot about the genetic side of things. So she's going to enlighten us, I think, today in terms of teaching us to understand our body type. That's what she does. She helps people to understand their body type and to know what to do for your body. What are the right things to do? Because we do an awful lot of things in terms of exercise and sleep hygiene and, the stuff we put in and the fuel we put in our bodies to make it work. But we're not necessarily putting the right things in for the kind of type we've got because we're kind of guessing most of the time. And if you're like me and you're very stressed sometimes, or I'm not stressed in the awful sense of the word, but stressed in very, very busy, you get low in energy. And the first thing you want to do when you're low in energy is go and head for the things that are not necessarily the best physically for you, but mentally they give you a bit of a pick-me-up. They make you feel good for a short time. Anyway, so without further ado, I am going to bring Melanie in. Just remember, comment below, say hello, say hi from wherever you are, and if you've got any questions for Melanie today, do ask, and if we can't get around to answering them on the show, we will definitely deal with them after the show. So let me bring my good friend in, Melanie Eager, coming in. How are you?
Hey Karen, good to speak with you today. Had that Eager joke quite a few times.
I just had to get that in. It's a great name, by the way. It's stunning. And you know what? People are never going to forget that name, are they?
No, they don't. People have a lot of problems spelling it for some reason. But yeah, thank you, Mr. Eager. Much appreciate that name.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about you. Tell us where you are and how you got into doing not only nutrition, but getting into specifics, like specializing in genetics, nutrition.
So, I've got an interesting background. I don't know whether a lot of people know this, but I spent 20 years working for pharmaceutical companies. Shock horror. Always surprises people that don't realize that. So I worked in clinical trials. I set up clinical trials. I educated the doctors and the hospital staff onto putting the right patients onto clinical trials. And I did that in a corporate environment for nearly 20 years. Suffered corporate burnout not once, but twice. So it took me 2 times for that to happen, for me to have a wake-up call about the health journey that I was going through, the chronic fatigue and the issues that I was suffering from. And that put me on my own health path to go and see what options were out there for me to heal, because when you have something like chronic fatigue, you're labeled chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, doctors say that there's no answer, there's no solution. They just want to give you a script for some medication. So I went on my own health journey and healed myself and became a nutrition coach and a wellness coach. But what I was finding was that I was having amazing results with some clients, and then other clients I was doing exactly the same stuff and they weren't getting the same great results. And that frustrated me. I couldn't work out why this was happening. And then a friend of mine said, you have to look into this genetics health coaching that I've just been trained in. She said, it's absolutely life-changing for my clients. It's made a massive difference to their health. So 2 years ago, I went and studied genetics health coaching down in Brisbane. Got a dietitian who's the CEO in Australia. And it became a game changer for my clients.
Awesome. So through your own kind of burnout and experience of not feeling well, not doing well, and not really being taken seriously, you decided to take it upon yourself to basically heal yourself, to kind of look after yourself, look after number one, which a lot of us don't do very well, I have to say. But also not only like the guessing, like most of us do, like, oh, I think this will be great for me today, or that magazine says I should be doing that and the other. You actually went and studied it. You wanted to learn from your research background. You wanted to learn, like, how can I get consistent results, not just with myself, but with the clients that I'm working with.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a science degree, a science master's. So for me to have research behind it is really important, really critical. For me to go to my clients and just say, this is scientifically proven to work and this is the data behind it was really necessary for me to be able to go and teach that to my clients.
Awesome.
And with this genetics health platform that I use, there is so much science behind it. There's all these different levels of science. There's neurobiology, endocrinology. We look at Ayurvedic medicine. So it's almost lots of different health practitioners rolled into one person. So I say to people, you don't have to go to all these different health practitioners because the platform has all of this already molded in.
Yeah, and it is quite a specialism, isn't it? It really is, to have, to have all those abilities and skills at your disposal. It is a specialism. It is pretty, kind of unique in terms of what you do. I don't know anyone else. I'm sure there will be other people doing this, but it's not something I've particularly heard of, and I've been in the health industry a long time. So it's great to hear about this today and to talk about it. So,
and the great thing is it's becoming more well known. So we have personal trainers on board, dietitians, nutritionists. We're very blessed on the Sunshine Coast with the range of practitioners that we have. So we've got holistic GPs jumping on board, integrative GPs jumping on board, all using this platform of personalized health and medicine.
Awesome. So when we talk about optimum health, like a lot of people, and I'm probably one of those, what do we mean by optimum health? Like, how do we know when we've got it, for example?
I believe it's a feeling. It's not a number on the scale. It's not even necessarily like your blood results or anything like that. It's how you feel day to day. Your energy levels are really critical to how you feel. They're a great indication. If you're waking up tired, if you're having those energy slumps throughout the day, something's not in balance. Obviously, if you've got children and you've been up half the night, then there's a different story. But it is generally like your health and vitality. It's how you're feeling generally throughout the day, and even how you're relating to other people as well, like healthy relationships too.
Yeah, so it's not just physical; it's also mental. It's social, behavioural. It's a holistic thing, isn't it?
It is, and it's like you haven't looked at the platform, but saying that, it's like you have looked at the platform, because the platform does break it down into what environment you're best at socially, for example. Like, it's got all these different tabs. So what environment you're best at socially, what environment you're best at, like, it's called your genius, so where you really shine in life. So it's people come to me and think I'm going to talk to them about food and exercise. It is so much more. You can tell from the profile whether somebody's going to be the life and soul of the party, or whether they want to be the one that's sat at home with the red wine and the book. Okay, so it's like a personality profiling as well, eh? One of my clients said it's like a personality test on steroids. Awesome. Oh, that's so good. So we've got some people who are saying hello, Tash Brown, good to see you. Hello. And we have Helen Baba, hello.
Helen, we're going to be speaking after this show, aren't we? That's awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, if you've got any questions at this point, if you want to just put them up there and say hello to my special guest, Melanie Eager, today, who's talking about genetic health coaching, how to achieve optimum health for yourself, for your body. And it's not just physically, it is mentally, it's socially, it's holistically. It's something how you feel throughout the days, how much energy you have, and how happy you feel. It's a holistic thing, and it is a feeling. It's a feeling that is very subjective for you in terms of how you feel, but also probably objective for people seeing you and thinking, you don't look great today, to be honest, or you're not sounding good today, or other people will feed back on that and say, are you feeling all right today? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So optimum health is great. So tell us a little bit about what you do in terms of helping people to find exactly what body type they are, and what does that actually mean?
So we've got on the platform, we've got 6 different body types, but within that, the wheel is 3-dimensional. So you're not labeled with a specific body type, because it's pulled in from all the different other areas as well. The profile will actually pick up the traits that you've got in all the different body types and bring it into your profile. So it's really clever how it's done. There's no blood test done, there's no urine test done, nothing invasive. It's all done on body measurements. And the body measurements you wouldn't get like at a gym or a personal trainer, for example. So we go from the head to the feet. And we start off with doing like the circumference of your head, your circumference of your neck, your jaw length. What else do we do? The wrist circumference. And we work all the way down to the length of your foot.
Oh, wow.
And you would be absolutely amazed how much information you can get from those body measurements, because they determine the predominant hormones that you've got in your body. And your predominant hormones, and not just how you look physically, but how your mind operates as well.
Wow, that is amazing. That's amazing. And how do you measure the difference? Like, how do you measure from the person that comes in that is needing a lot of help, right? Otherwise they wouldn't be coming to see you.
Yeah.
And you take all those good measurements, and presumably there's a sense of needing to know after you've done some work together what the measurements mean afterwards. Like what are the kind of the measurements that you would take after you've done some kind of intervention with someone to know that something's different, something's changed, or is that just about how the person feels?
So the system has health outputs, and we can look at the health outputs at the beginning, and we can track the health output measurements. And as a coach, I get a lot of the back end really detailed information as well. So that's one way for both of us to be able to track how somebody's doing. But also, like, it can just be small changes. So within those body types, everybody's got their own priorities that they should be working on.
Okay.
So for some people, it literally might be they need to have more self-care and they need to socialize more. Like, they're not socializing enough. Their relationships are not at optimum. So, they may come back and just go, all I've done is just like look after myself more and catch up with my friends more. And they feel so much better. That's very subjective, but that could be something that is a measure for them.
Sure. So as well as having the objective measures, you have their own measures of what they currently are doing and what they're not doing and what they would like to do and feel better doing more of. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I get all my clients to do is fill in the tracker at the start, because people don't realize how bad they actually were when they start to feel better. So I get my clients to fill in a tracker, and we look at that on a week-by-week basis, and they go back like 3 months later and they're like, was I really feeling that low in energy? Was I waking up that many times in the night? It's a shock to them because they've come so far.
Yeah, I get that too, you know, because I do a therapy and coaching, and you only have to do a few things, a few different
Yeah,
things, and you find that people have forgot where they started from. They're like,
absolutely.
did that really
Yeah,
happen? Was that really like
yeah,
that? Are you sure? Yeah,
that's
that's what my
right.
dad's telling me, and that's what I
Mm.
said, what you said at the time. It's so easy to forget that, of the places you've been in and to, when you've reached somewhere different, isn't it? And
It
you've been
is.
some.
Yeah,
So
as
that's
a
good to
human, we block out that noise, we block out those
yeah.
negative emotions. We don't want to go back to that space, which
Yes.
is
Yeah.
great and allowing us to move forward.
Yeah. How from your experience of doing this, like how permanent is it, I guess? How are people able to maintain those changes over the long term? Is that the kind of thing you measure, or is that something that, you know, it's just about the person dealing with that themselves?
No, absolutely. This is really critical as part of the work that I do,
Yeah.
that this is a lifestyle change. So this
Yeah.
isn't, you know, you look at personal trainers and just the way that life is set up now. Everybody wants quick fixes, a 6-week
Yeah.
challenge, and then we're back to normal life. With
Yeah.
this coaching that I do, it becomes part of life. So I teach you the best time to get up, the best time to go to bed, the best exercise for you. The platform details specifically the foods for you to eat. So, you know, it might be that you should eat meat at lunchtime, but avoid it at dinner time. It might be
Oh,
that
okay.
you should avoid oranges, for example. So it becomes part of your lifestyle, and
Yes.
it's all about, you know, your long-term health. So I don't want people to come to me, lose weight or have more energy or gain weight,
Mm.
and then that's it, they fall back into their trap. I
Yeah.
want this to become, they know how to operate their day-to-day life. They know that they're better
Yes.
working in the morning than the afternoon, they're better
Yeah.
exercising in the morning than the afternoon, and then that just becomes a way of being.
That is so true, because a lot of people just go for quick fixes. I've just got to
Yeah.
get myself sorted. They don't really
That's
think
right.
beyond the you know, the nose kind of thing, and it's like relapse after relapse after relapse, because they're not really kind of figuring it out for the long term. They're just changing things in the moment, but not really being thinking of having a long-term goal and approach. It is a lifestyle change, isn't it? Whenever you're
Yeah.
doing anything like this, whether it's mental or physical, you've got to think about, this is not actually going to work if I just do it for a few weeks. This needs to be done. This needs to be me and who I am, especially if it's about matching your sleep pattern and your eating pattern and your drinking pattern
Yeah.
to your body type. You've got to listen to that. You've got to listen to what your body's telling you, haven't you?
Absolutely. And it's consistency. Like when we exercise, 5,000 genes get turned on. But if we
Wow.
stop exercising and that's not consistent, they just get turned off again. So
Okay.
I teach people what to do so those genes stay on, those good genes stay on, and those bad
Yeah.
genes that we may have been born with, we may have in our family, they don't get activated on.
That is awesome. And do you know what? This should be taught in schools,
I
Melanie.
know
Like,
it's
this should be taught, like, as soon as you start talking, like, you
yeah.
understand these kind of things.
It should become more well known, because what's
Yeah.
happening in society at the moment is people going for the latest craze, whether it's keto, whether it's paleo, whether it's
Yeah.
plant-based, whatever people feel is the latest thing everyone's jumping on the bandwagon with. It may not
Yeah.
be suited to your body type. And
Yes.
the great thing with this is that, like I said, it's a lifestyle thing, but
Yeah.
it also, your body changes consistently throughout life, you know? So
Oh,
what was good for you 10 years ago might not be good for you when you're now going through the menopause, your children have
yeah.
left home, you've got a lot of other stresses going on.
Yeah.
You've moved to a cold country, whereas the last 10 years you spent in the tropics. So there's so many factors to take into account with what's going
Yes.
on in your life.
So you need a regular health check with this. You need a regular kind of checking in with your coach to say, can we have another test? Can we have another check? Can you just assess where I'm at with this? And do I need to do something now different with my body?
Well, the great thing is everybody gets access to an app for 12 months. It's called Shae, SHAE. So you get that with the platform, and
Cool.
you get that for 12 months. And Shae changes as you change. So if you move from a Queensland summer to a London winter, You input that into your system because you've got access to that for 12 months. That changes your outputs. So that'll provide you with different notifications about what you're supposed to do for optimal health.
And the nice thing about that, it empowers the person to take responsibility, doesn't it? Rather than needing to rely on an external source to tell them things.
Absolutely.
It's kind of getting into a good habit, isn't it?
It is. Like, we're here to coach, to motivate, but I want people to be able to, as you say, take control of their own life and have that ownership of their health.
Yeah, educate themselves. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit about what your body type tells you at the moment, because I know you're a real early bird. You get up at the crack of dawn, you do these great big walks, and you get to the beach. I'm still in bed for another 3 or 4 hours after you get up. So what does that tell you about your body? Like what is that the best thing for your body to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm what's called an activator. So they generally tend to be the mesomorphs, which, looking at me, I look more so mesomorphs, they're the shorter, stockier, the type of people you'd find in a CrossFit gym. Whereas if you physically look at me, I look more like an ectomorph, so tall, not taller, but lankier, more delicate bones, for example. But with the system, it brings those inputs of my ectomorph side in with the mesomorph side, and it provides those outputs for me. So I'm what we call an activator. So, for me to be up early is optimal, and be up early and exercising as well. It's great for my body type. And I know that if I get a slump in my energy, in my health, my immune system, it generally is because I haven't been exercising enough. Like, that small thing for me makes a massive difference to my overall health.
So say if you took a few days off, say you thought, I'm done with this getting up early thing, Karen didn't get up early, so why should I get up early? How many days would you need to do that, do you reckon, or have you never done this to see whether it would have such an impact on your daily kind of effect?
Oh, definitely done it. I have lazy mornings. I'm just human like everybody else. I struggle in the winter because my body type loves the warmth of the summer and the high temperatures. But I feel it. I'm like, you think that sleeping's a good idea, I'll just catch up on sleep today. And then you're like, the rest of the day's knocked out. You haven't set yourself up properly. But the one thing to bear in mind with activators, and I know this from my medical history, is that we burn out easily. So we get adrenal problems. Like, every body type's got their weakness. And the activators are like, go, go, go. They want to be on the go all the time. But they need to have that balance of going, okay, now I need to pull back and rest. So maybe I'll get up early and I'll go for a gentle walk today instead of, doing something intense at boot camp, for example. So it's tuning into your body and knowing what those weaknesses are within each body type.
Yeah. So when people get this kind of styling done, what do you call it? What do you call the process?
Their profile, their genetic
profile, that's
profile.
it. Yeah. When they get this profiling done, do they get all that information in terms of what's going to happen, what their weaknesses are, what's their strengths, and this kind of thing, so that they then can work to those. And if they choose not to, it's their own fault, right?
They get so much information to the point when it can be overwhelming for people. So we say, okay, you're an activator, for example, like myself. Your top 2 priorities are to exercise more and the food you're eating. So activators get hangry. Like, if they don't get food often enough, they get angry and upset and emotional.
I'm so like that too.
So we say, forget about the rest. Just for the biggest difference to your health, just focus on those 2 things, because it can be really overwhelming, and the basics I work on with people is, what one thing can you do this week to change and improve your health? So can you concentrate on breakfast? Can you add a green smoothie in if that's suitable for your body type? Just build it up slowly. We work on the Kaizen principle, so small changes and building up on that consistently.
Yeah, otherwise it'd be so easy to give up, wouldn't it? If you had so many things that you've got to change at once, it would be like, I think I'll just stick it. Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
This is just so much trouble.
Yeah. But if you're saying to somebody, okay, I want you to stay in bed longer and go out and socialise more with your friends, they're like, well, I can do that. And
Yeah,
that can make a huge difference. Like, who's going to tell you that when you go to a health practitioner?
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to hear. Unfortunately, you may not have the right body type for that. So, hang on before you go and see Melanie, before you think about that.
It's funny, actually. I get people that say to me, I'd look at their food preferences and what they're eating at the moment before they come and see me, and I have people that say, I won't touch kale, it tastes like grass, like things like that. And I say, you might be one of the lucky ones that needs to avoid kale, because that's the thing. We've got such a push in society nowadays that we all need to get up early, we all need to be at boot camps, and we all need to be eating kale, and they can be really detrimental to some people's health.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the taste of like raw kale, but I like it cooked in things. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it might be about that too. You might not like it in a smoothie, but you might like it hidden in a curry or a chili or something.
Yeah.
With lots of flavour to it. But somehow you've got to get it in there. If that's your body type, you need to listen to that for sure. Yeah. Do you know what? Today, Melanie, this has been so enlightening, I've got to say. I know more today than I could have ever read in a book, I reckon.
Fantastic.
So this is so useful, and I guess if I'm thinking that, I'm presuming, and I've got to assume that a lot of people are thinking that too. So even though you may not have come on the broadcast, this is going to go out after the broadcast, and people can watch this and understand that they've got to do something for their body type. They've got to get some help to see what's going on here. If they're feeling not feeling well all the time and feeling low in energy, there's something not going right there.
Absolutely. And paleo works for some people, plant-based works for some people, raw works for some people, keto works for some people, but someone said the other day, what works for you? Like the Mediterranean diet, it only actually works, they've scientifically shown people only thrive on it 30 to 50% of the time, and that's like the gold standard diet. Like people should be on the Mediterranean diet, but what's the diet for you?
Yeah, so it's all right about the two kind of frames there, isn't there? One of them is surviving, and the other one is thriving. Yeah. Thriving is where you want to be. You want to be optimal.
Absolutely.
You want to be at your best, not just kind of getting through the day the best you can.
Yeah, and I've been in that position myself. That's why I can resonate with my clients so much. I've been in that position of having poor health, struggling with various health issues, and now knowing exactly what works for me. And being able to tap into that and on all levels, like how to structure my day, how I'm going to cope on a social level with people, everything. Yeah. Great. You feel good on that. You feel much better, right? Yeah, really good on it. Awesome. Well, where can people get hold of you? Just remind them. So my website is eagerforlife.com.au. I want everybody to be eager for life too. Absolutely. Sure. I'm also on Facebook, also on Instagram as well. Same username, Eager for Life. Stunning. I'm going to put those links up after the broadcast as well and put them around so people have got them and they can go contact you and have a little chat. Do you do an initial chat first to make sure they're going to be suitable for this, or do you, Yeah, I like to have a chat with people, make sure that, aware this is very different to anything that they've come across before, and explain the process to them. All my work is online now, so I see people like across the country, around Australia, and we meet on Zoom calls, and then we talk through the body measurements. So I show them like how to do their body measurements, get somebody to help them, send them like a detailed instructions of how to do the body measurements, and it means I can reach a much wider audience doing it that way. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today, Melanie. I'm sure you've got a lot to do today. You're a very, very busy and very active person. So, super. Thank you. Thanks for coming on and sharing your world to us. And thanks, Karen. Thanks for this opportunity. This is something I'm so passionate about. It's everyone learning about personalized health and what works for their body type. And I could talk for hours on it. I get so excited. I can tell this is your passion for sure. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. Have a good day. See you soon. Thank you, and you. Bye, guys. See ya.
Oh, that was a stunning kind of show. You know what? I've learned a lot more there than I ever thought I could. And it's so
Oh, good.
enlightening me to understand that. I'm still on the live. So Melanie's still in the green room. We're going to have a chat afterwards. So yeah, if you want to come on the show, if you're a lady in business and you want to come and chat to me about what you do, I would love to have you on this show, Cherry Hive Facebook Live, Blossoming Confidence for Business Women. Hopefully you've learned a lot of great stuff today, and do contact Melanie because she's obviously passionate and very skilled and experienced in what she does with that science background that she's got. So she's very keen on making sure that it's not just a quick fix, it's something that you do for life, right? So yes, that's all from me today. I'm going to be talking after this show on another show, but I'll talk to you again when I come on for that. All the best for today. Have a good one. See ya.